Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
Dark Venture. Over the minds of mortal men come many shadows. Shadows of greed and hate, jealousy and fear. Shadows which fog the minds of men and women, which urge them on into their venture in the dark. Dark Venture. The American Broadcasting Company presents Dark Venture, written by Larry Marcus, directed by William T. Johnson, and featuring an all-star cast. And now, your host for tonight's journey into darkness, John Newland.
Tonight, the city has a fable to unfold for those who would follow us through the summer darkness. It is not quite 11 o'clock in the city. The street lamps are glowing targets for mosquitoes and moths. The endless miles of neon tubing slashing the darkness with garish reds and blues and greens. Traffic moves quickly down the street. The sidewalks are filled with sleepless citizens, fruitlessly searching for some wayward breeze. But here, where our story begins, here in this dark alley, there is only George, a skinny, scrawny bum, whose bed for tonight is a strip of cobblestones behind a row of trash. It would be interesting to wonder what the old bum dreams about as he sleeps in the alley, but there is no time, for now suddenly, George is no longer alone.
Get out, Joe.
Hey, now listen.
Get out.
Listen to me. You got me all wrong.
Get out.
No, but wait, listen to me.
Start walking down the alley.
Harry, I'm begging you. Give me a break, Harry. I'm begging you. I'm begging you.
Start walking.
But Harry, listen
It's a
to
dark
me.
alley. Maybe you can get away.
Harry, you mean you let me get away? You mean you'll tell the boss you couldn't help it, huh? Is that what you mean, Harry?
Never can tell.
Oh, Harry, I always said you were okay. I always knew it.
Go on, start down the alley.
Sure. And the boss will believe you, too, Harry. It's a dark alley.
Faster, Joe. Walk faster.
Yeah. So long, Harry. And thanks.
Run, Joe. Run.
Run. Yeah, run.
Joe falls and dies, almost at the scrawny bum's feet. The car races away, and now George, the bum, is alone in the alley with the dead man.
Gotta get out of here. Can't be found with this guy. They might blame me. Gotta get out. Hey, but wait. Use your head, George. Look at the clothes this guy's wearing. Even in the dark, you can see how classy they are. He's really got a roll in his wallet, and he don't need it anymore. Now, hurry. Can't waste any time. Here's his wallet.
Hey, those shots! I think they came from this alley. Come on!
Gotta get out of here.
But as George turns to run, the wallet drops from his nervous fingers.
No!
The money scatters across the cobblestones. He has no time to look for it in the dark. The police are already coming up the alley. He grabs the first bill his fingers touch and then starts running. George doesn't stop running till half a dozen blocks separate him from the alley and the dead man and the police. Now, finally, he slows down to a walk where the people on the street are staring at him. Fearful that they might wonder what he clutches so tightly in his fist, he steps into a doorway, opens his hand. By the dim hallway light, he looks.
A $10 bill. Now, I'll bet there was 50 of them in that wallet, and all I got was one. Well, no use crying about it now. Anyway, there's still a lot of things a guy can do with a $10 bill.
A $10 bill. But this is a very special $10 bill. And you are not to lose sight of it for an instant. For in a sense, you might say, the hero of our journey into darkness tonight is this $10 bill. Now George folds the bill into a pocket, heads across Fifth Avenue to Charlie's Tavern. Not many in Charlie's place tonight, the usual crowd. Everybody's edgy. It's hot. It's too hot tonight to get much of a kick out of seeing old George mosey in.
Hi, fellas. Hot night, isn't it? And here's Charlie, the best darn bartender that ever scraped a head off a glass of cold beer.
I don't think none of the boys is in the mood to set you up tonight, George. Why don't you beat it?
Just a minute now. How many times would you say I mooched drinks off you fellas, huh?
Too many.
Yeah, too many times, but I always give you a laugh, didn't I? Old George always give you a laugh for setting them up.
George, go on, beat it.
All old George had to do was say, "This is a fine end for a fellow who studied business administration at Princeton University." And then you all had a good laugh at old George. Well, tonight's going to be different.
Look, will you scram out of here?
Tonight, old George is going to set him up for you boys. Every one of you. $10 worth. Yeah, and this time, when he tells you about Princeton, this time, you're not going to laugh at all. Set him up, Charlie. Anything they want, $10 worth.
That's all that does it. Get out of here.
Well, what are you talking about? I told you to set him up.
And I told you to get out, you drunken bum.
Huh?
What are you trying to pull $10 worth? Out.
I got the...
Get out.
No, hey.
Out.
So before George can pull the $10 bill out of his pocket, he finds himself sitting on the sidewalk. And through the screen door come the laughs and taunts of those inside. He picks himself up, shakes his head, starts shuffling down the street.
Oh, drunken bum. Laughing at me like that. Not even giving me a chance to show 'em my money. What do they think they are? Old drunken bums.
And suddenly George stops. He is looking into a store window where orange-faced dummies gracefully display the very latest fashion in second-hand clothing. But George is not looking at the dummies or the clothing. He is watching his own reflection. His torn, faded shirt, his baggy pants, patched, food-stained, and greasy.
Old bum. Old bum.
You interested in some nice garments, mister?
Huh?
I seen you standing there looking at the display.
Oh.
Why don't you come inside and look around? Don't hurt to look.
But I
So
can't.
you can't buy. Look, between me and you, I ain't had a customer inside the store for so long, even a guy just looking would be a relief.
Well, all right.
Sit by myself, and all I do is think. What do I think about? How the lousy business has ruined my nerves. How I treat my wife, Eva. It's like she was a dog.
Well, maybe I do want to buy. I mean, I could use some clothes, I guess, and I got a little money.
How little?
$10.
A little money. Mister, for $10, you could get dressed from head to bottom and maybe have a couple of bucks left.
What?
I got good values. Only today, who buys second-hand clothes? Here, take a look at this suit. Feel the material. 60% wool, wears like that.
And in a very short time, George, the old bum, finds himself in the washroom behind the store, changing into his new second-hand clothes. Then he finds a razor on the sink. He shaves himself, combs back his hair. After that, he walks out.
Say, hey, that looks more like it. Look at yourself in the mirror.
Well, yeah. Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Pretty good. Terrific. You really look like something.
Well, you know, I wasn't always a bum. Once I was headed for big things. I even studied business administration at Princeton University.
Yeah? Say, that's a pretty good college.
You believe me?
Why shouldn't I believe you? You look like a man who has a head for that stuff.
I got sidetracked, that's all. A lot of bad luck, and then everything went to pieces.
So what? The guy can bounce back. Look, I bet you could go out tomorrow. If you told people about this Princeton deal, I'll bet you could name your own job.
You really think so?
Sam Bernstein never says anything you don't think. Life's too short. It'll be $8 even.
Yeah, here's a $10 bill.
Yeah? Your change.
You wouldn't know of any fairly good hotel around here, would you?
Well, yes, certainly. It's a place down the street where you get a room for $1.50. So it's not fancy, but it's clean.
Fine. I want to get a good night's sleep. I got a lot of things to do tomorrow. Good night.
Oh, say, mister, wait a second.
Yes?
What do you want me to do with your old clothes?
Do anything you want. What would I have use for them? Those clothes are only good for an old bum.
And George leaves the second-hand store and disappears into the night. Maybe tomorrow night he'll sell his new clothes for a pint of gin. Then again, let's hope he won't. It's almost 11:30 when Sam closes the store. He walks down the street toward the bus stop. The $10 bill is in his pocket with the other money. The bus is late, and he waits in the doorway of the Pearson florist shop. Mr. Pearson is closing up and taking the flowers out of the window. Sam watches him and remembers how long it has been since he brought Eva, his wife, anything. Before he knows it, he's going inside the shop.
Well, hello. I just got a minute before I catch my bus. I thought maybe I'd like to buy their little flower.
I'm sorry, but I'm closed for the night.
Yeah, but look, I want to bring my wife home a little something, and
Why don't you come back tomorrow?
I don't want it tomorrow. I want it now.
No, I'm sorry.
Say, look, buddy, that flower there on the desk. Now, what does it take to put in a little box? Give it to me. How about it, huh?
And that's an orchid.
Orchid?
Yes, it's pretty expensive. $6.
$6 for one flower?
Yeah.
Okay, wrap it up. Give it to me.
Well, all right. I suppose I can. Will this box be all right?
Sure. You don't even have to tie it. Here, here's $10.
Oh, don't you have anything smaller?
No.
Well, I put all the money in the safe. I've only got $1.
Hey, well, that's my bus coming down the street. I got my own store block away. Just give me the $1. I'll pick up the rest tomorrow.
All right. If that's all right with you.
Yeah, sure. Coming here with a $10 bill, and all I got to show for it is $1 and a flower. I don't know. I guess maybe it's love.
And now the florist has the $10 bill. He folds it into a tiny square and stuffs it into his watch pocket. He yawns and finishes putting the flowers into the icebox, and by 10 to 12, he's finished. He washes up and back, straightens his tie, turns out the lights, and starts for the front of the store. In the darkness, someone is waiting for him.
Who is it?
Never mind. Just stay where you are. I'm not kidding with this gun.
Gun?
Yeah, just hand over the dough, mister.
Money's in the safe.
Then open the safe.
I can't. It's automatic. It can only be opened by...
Look, maybe you think I'm kidding with this gun. Maybe you think I won't use it if I have to.
Take it easy. I told you the safe is...
Never mind the safe. Give me what you got on you.
I haven't got a penny on me.
Look, wise guy. I'm telling you. I'm going to kill you. Maybe you think I ain't got the guts. Maybe that's what you think.
No,
Hand over your dough.
I told you I don't have a penny.
Okay, I'm going to show you.
Wait. Yeah, I forgot. I do have some money. $10.
Hand it over quick.
In my watch pocket. Here it is.
Okay, mister. That's better. Maybe I ought to let you kiss this dough before I take it. It just saved your life.
So now our $10 bill is in the hands of a young thief, running now down a dark side street. His face plastered with sweat, his heart beating wildly against his ribs.
I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it.
Even in the darkness, it's easy to see his youthfulness. The slender, undeveloped shoulders, the smooth, unshaven face, the kid mouth sagged open, gasping in air as he runs.
Not so bad for my first job. So was that guy scared? Oh, man, was he scared.
What is not apparent in the darkness are the years that brought the boy to this street on this night with a gun in his pocket and a stolen $10 bill. The poverty, the loneliness, the many hungers. Now the boy slows down, standing under a street lamp, puts the $10 bill into his wallet. At this moment, a little man in a doorway, biting a toothpick, smiles and glides out of the shadows.
Hey, buddy.
Huh? What do you want?
Hey, buddy, you wouldn't by any chance be having a match for my cigarette now, would you?
Oh, yeah. Here's a pack. Keep him.
Oh, thank you very kindly. But John Forrest is not a man to keep what ain't his under no circumstances. No, sir. So I'll just strike one of your fine matches, light my cigarette, and deposit the book of matches right in the same pocket that you took them out of.
Hey.
And now, begging your pardon, sir, I will proceed on my way. Good night, and thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, beat it.
The young thief continues down the dark street, not quite sure where he's going, but glorying in his newfound courage. Then just ahead, he sees a pair of headlights coming his way.
The cops. Gotta get out of here. Gotta get rid of the gun.
Start around, shoot.
Okay. What do you want from me? I didn't do nothing.
Just stand still.
What are you doing that for? I don't carry no gun if that's what you're looking for.
Come on over to the squad car with me.
Sure. The only reason I ran, I got kind of rattled, is all.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Pearson. Take a good look at him. Is he the one who held you up?
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see much of his face in the dark.
How about his voice?
The fellow who held me up was pretty excited. I don't know.
Well, he's not carrying a gun. I don't know any other way.
Oh, wait.
Yeah?
Look at his wallet. See if he has a $10 bill.
Oh, hey, now.
What would that prove?
Well, if he doesn't have a 10 spot, at least it proves he isn't the one. If he does, well, I don't know. He might be.
Let me see what kind of money you're carrying, son.
No. You ain't got no right to search me.
Okay, I'll find it myself. Stand still.
Hey, you.
All right. Now, this isn't our man. He don't have a dime on him.
Did you look in his wallet?
He doesn't have a wallet. Oh. Go on, buddy, beat it. This is one time when it's lucky not to have a $10 bill.
2 blocks away, a spindly-legged little man, still smiling, throws away an empty wallet and pockets our $10 bill.
Yeah, punk kid. He really thought I was drunk. I could have picked his pocket with my teeth.
The little man walks through the night humming to himself, his eyes darting up and down the dark streets, till suddenly he stops, like a man who suddenly beholds an image of unbelievable loveliness.
Hey, a liquor store. Open this late? It's locked. But all the lights are on. And there's a fella working inside. Hey, open up, young fella. Open up. No, I ain't gonna go away. Open up.
Don't you believe a locked door when you see it? We're closed.
What, with all the lights burning and you in your shirt sleeves?
I'm taking inventory, that's all. Come back tomorrow.
Oh, no, wait. Tomorrow. That's a poor word. What is tomorrow but a great big question mark?
Yeah, okay. Good night.
No, wait a minute.
Take your foot out of the door.
Oh, man, can't you see? I'm ready to drop. Just for a little teeny bottle or something or other, huh?
Sorry.
But I got money. Look, a $10 bill.
It's after 3 a.m. I can't sell you anything. Didn't you ever hear about the law?
Law. That's another word that don't bring no joy to my heart.
Look, pal, I only work here. I'm tired. I want to go home.
Yeah, look, hey, that bottle of bourbon standing over there.
Yeah?
You could just reach back and grab it without even stretching your little finger.
Now, look, I told you, didn't I?
It's marked $6 plus tax, right? Now, I'll just give you this $10 bill for it, and I won't even complain a bit. In fact, I'll be the happiest guy in the world.
Pal, you picked the right man. You know, guess it's like they say. Takes a heel to know a heel. Hand over the 10.
So by 3:20, our $10 bill is owned by a clerk in a liquor store, a clerk named Eddie. And by 3:45, Eddie's locking the store, starting his walk across town to his rented room in 4th Street. But at this time of night, Eddie doesn't mind that walk so much. In the darkness, Eddie can relax. He even dropped the scowl that's his defense against whatever life might do to him. Eddie's never had much faith in life, and what little he had, he lost in the mud before Casino. Now Eddie's out to get whatever he can, any way he can. He's thinking about that now as he reaches the bridge that spans the North River. Then he sees the girl standing near the middle of the bridge, looking down.
Dang. What's she doing here? Maybe she's lonely. Maybe I'll say hello. Hey, what's she trying to do? Hey, lady, don't do that. Get off that ledge. Get off that ledge.
Leave me alone. Go me.
Take it easy.
Go me. Go me. You're not going to stop me.
Yeah, I am going to stop you. Come on now, relax, or I'll slug you right on that chin.
Why don't you leave me alone? It's none of your business. Why don't you leave me alone?
Take it easy. I think that's a prowl car coming across the bridge. I'll throw you in the can for trying something like this.
Oh, no.
Here, make like we just stopped to light a cigarette here. That's a prowl car, all right. Okay, it's past.
You're not going to stop me. Nobody's going to stop me. As soon as you leave, I'm going to do it anyway.
That's your business.
That's right.
Only I don't know why a good-looking dame like you wants to do something like this. You know, if you wasn't so skinny, you'd really be something to write home about. What's the trouble?
Go on. Beat it.
Sure, I'll beat it. You can jump nice as you please. Only I got a nice long way to walk till I get to my room, and I always like to have something to think about while I walk. So you tell me why a swell-looking dame like you has to kill herself, and I'll think about that.
Yeah. And if I tell you, maybe you'll even help me, since I'm such a swell-looking dame.
Sure, you can't tell.
Everybody's always willing to help a swell-looking dame. And all they want in return is maybe a little gratitude.
Well, after all, it's only humor.
Yeah, sure. Go on. Leave me alone.
No, now you got me really interested. That'd be like leaving a good movie right before the best part.
Oh, please, leave me alone.
You tell me, and then I'll go. Look, it won't be so bad. We can finish these cigarettes. It's a nice night. Besides, what does a couple of minutes mean to you? One way or the other.
Okay, Mr. Big Shot. Yeah. I'll tell you fast and sweet. And all I need is a couple of violins playing softly in the background. Which version do you want? Annie, the sewing machine girl, or little Nell making paper flowers in her dark bedroom? Or maybe you want to hear about Helen. That's me. The big blonde who was going to come to the city and set it on fire, sing and dance and act, and you name it. It's right up Helen's alley. Maybe you want to hear about her. Only she found out that setting the city on fire wasn't such a lead pipe cinch after all. Not when the city was nothing but cold steel. Am I holding your interest?
Yeah, go on. You're doing fine.
Oh, it gets better as it goes along. Maybe you want to follow our Helen through all the neon dives she worked in. Maybe you'd like to see her.
And the girl tells Eddie everything. And she's right. There should have been violins playing in the background, because it's really a very trite little story about a pretty blonde kid getting no place fast, about the late hours, the stale cigarette smoke, the sandwiches grabbed on the run finally taking their toll. Yep, and like all trite little stories, there's even a doctor in it. And he says what the doctor in the story always says. Mild TB. But it'll kill you if you don't get away. And of course, there's a sister in Arizona who'll put her up till she gets well, if she'll only grab a bus and come right out. And all that stands in the way is $37. But in 3 months of trying, she hasn't been able to make it. When she passed the bridge, she wasn't thinking about suicide, but then suddenly she was very tired. And jumping into the water seemed the only sensible thing in this world to do. Finally, the girl finishes. The two stand in the dark for a very long time.
Well, I don't believe any of it.
Hey, now.
I think you're a cheap little shill trying to talk me out of some dough.
Good for you. Now you can be on your way. Good night.
Wait. I'm not finished.
Yeah.
Sure, that's what I believe. But then, I'm a guy that's all twisted up like a pretzel. And because I believe it, that doesn't have to make it so. How much dough do you need?
Oh, now, listen.
Look, girlie, get it fast before I start thinking about it. How much dough do you need? How much dough?
I can get a bus out of here in just 2 hours. It'll take me all the way for $37. That's with meals. Honey, I got about $6.
You need 31 more.
Yeah.
This is your lucky night. Usually I wouldn't have that much with me, but a guy slipped me an extra 10. Come on. You said the bus leaves in 2 hours. We got to be getting down to the station.
At 6 a.m., a sleepy little crowd has gathered around the door of a bus marked Phoenix. The girl is the last to get on.
Well, I guess I'd better get my seat, Eddie.
Yeah. Good night, kiddo.
I don't know what to say except thank you.
Oh, it's okay. Me and Rockefeller, you know. Oh, go on. You better get on the bus.
Yeah.
I'll be going. So long.
So long.
Hey, Helen, wait a minute. Don't get on the bus yet.
What is it, Eddie?
You know, I'm always thinking that someday I might go out to the West Coast.
Yeah? Just a second. Eddie, you were saying...
And if I do, well, I got to go through Phoenix. And maybe if you give me your sister's address, maybe I'll look you up.
Eddie, just look in the phone book. It's listed under Amelia Benson.
Amelia Benson?
Yeah, Amelia Benson. She's the only one in the book.
That is if you want me to look you up.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I do want you to look me up. I do, Eddie. I do. I do.
And so it is dawn in the city. And as the sky lightens, an old man in a hotel room on 4th Street has just awakened and is carefully putting on his new suit. In a flat on Harrison Street, an orchid rests, still fresh, in an icebox put there by a grateful wife. Across town, in a Wentworth Street studio, a florist stirs in his sleep, as if suddenly reliving his moments with the gunman in the dark and the $10 bill that saved his life. In a small bedroom near Logan Square, a young kid is thinking about that $10 bill, too, and wondering how he could have lost it, but thankful that he did because losing it has given him another chance. In a store doorway on 12th Street, the pickpocket is sleeping off a drunk, dreaming of a happy world he's never known. Down 6th Street, Eddie is walking toward his room, whistling to himself and wondering if maybe by next month he'll be able to buy his bus ticket for Arizona. And on the outskirts of the city, in a fast-moving bus, a girl looks out the window. She sees a reflection in the glass and realizes that for a very long time, she's been smiling. Only at the ticket window of the bus company is there any real unhappiness as the cashier shakes his head, yells to his assistant.
Hey, Frank, where'd you get this bill?
Huh? I don't know. Why?
Counterfeit, that's why. Huh? Yeah, as phony as they come.
Well, what are you going to do with it?
What can you do with it? I guess there's nothing in the world as worthless as a phony $10 bill.
Moral? Oh, I kind of think you've already figured out the moral for tonight's story. And I guess it goes something like this. In this life, nothing is ever counterfeit that brings people happiness. Of course, that doesn't mean you should go right out and start printing $10 bills. Good night, folks. See you next week.
Listen next week for another dark venture with John Newland. Starring in tonight's story were Jack Moyles as Harry, Jack Edwards Jr. as Joe, Norman Field was George, the old bum, David Ellis was Eddie, Sam Edwards was the thief, Wilms Herbert as Mr. Pearson, the florist, Eddie Marr was Sam, Herb Vigran, the pickpocket, and Virginia Gregg as the girl. Original music by Rex Corey. George Fenneman speaking. ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
Dark Venture. Over the minds of mortal men come many shadows. Shadows of greed and hate, jealousy and fear. Darkness is the absence of light. So in the sudden shadows which fog the minds of men and women are to be found the strange impulses which urge them on to their venture in the dark. And now, for tonight's venture in the dark, we bring you Mr. Charles Barrett in Eclipse.
Tell me, Mr. Police Commissioner, how long ago did life begin for you? 40, 45 years ago? Well, life for me began about 24 hours ago. Yeah, 24 hours ago, I woke up. I was lying in a ditch beside a railroad track. When I first opened my eyes, I saw the sky. It was clear and very blue. I sat up and saw that my knee was sticking out through a hole in my pants, that all my clothes were dirty and torn. I started thinking, wait a minute, what's happened to me? I rubbed my eyes like you do when you first wake up. My hand ran across something sticky. I looked at my hand. Blood. Yeah, dry, sticky blood. I figured I must have fallen off a train or been thrown off. I got up. Then this bum started walking up to me. I could see him quite a way off.
Hey there, young fella.
Yeah?
You hurt?
No, I'm all right.
Well, what's the matter?
Nothing, huh? I'm all right. Dizzy, I guess.
You've been kind of banged around.
Yeah, I guess I have. I better rest a bit.
Sure, Pete, sure. That's the idea. What happened? Get bumped off the rods?
I don't know.
Well, how'd you be in the ditch if you wasn't bumped off the rods, huh?
I don't know, I tell you.
Okay, Pete, okay.
My name isn't Pete.
Oh, well, I just call everybody that. What is your name?
My name is... my name?
Well?
I can't remember my name.
You can't remember? Are you kidding? What are you trying to pull? Don't even know your own name.
I tell you, it's true. I don't know. I can't remember.
It's not so easy to forget your own name, Pete.
Look, don't ride me. Something's happened to me. I don't know just what, but something's wrong.
Well, where you from?
What?
Where you from?
I don't know that either.
Well, what are you trying to get away with, Joe? You can let me in on it. I won't spill.
I'm not trying to get away with anything. I just can't think. I just can't remember. It's crazy.
Hey, you really got it bad, ain't you, Joe?
Well, let me see. I was... No, it's no use.
Hey, look in your pockets. Maybe you'll find something with your name on it.
Yeah, maybe. I never thought of that. At least it's a chance.
Yeah.
But,
what's wrong now?
There's nothing in my pockets. They're empty.
You're in bad shape. You don't know who you are, where you're from. You ain't got nothing in your pockets. Where you heading?
I can't remember.
Well, if I was you, the first thing I'd do is try to find out who I am. That's kind of important.
Yeah.
Well, I seen the train pass through, the train you fell off of. And I don't know where it was headed for, but I do know where it started out from.
Where?
Chicago.
Chicago?
Yeah. Now, the thing for you to do is head right back to Chicago and start asking questions. And, maybe you better pay a little visit to the hospital and have them look at your bean. Now, Pete, you don't look so good to me. You don't look good at all.
Yes, Mr. Commissioner, that's how it started, with loss of memory, amnesia. That was bad enough. But if I'd known how much bigger and more terrible my problems were going to be, I never would have come back to Chicago. Anyway, I hitchhiked in. When I saw how people were looking at my torn clothes, I thought I'd better pay a visit to a tailor.
Good afternoon. Come in.
Thank you. I'm...
Such a beautiful day, I don't feel like working already, but when it's got to be, it's got to be. What can I do for you?
Well, my clothes...
Such a mess. You had an accident, eh?
Yeah, I'm afraid I did.
What's the matter with me? Sit down, sit down. You look terrible. You could use a little drink, some brandy, maybe?
No, thanks. I feel okay now. I'd just like to have these clothes sewn up and pressed a little. Could you do it while I wait?
Certainly, and with pleasure. Look, go into the back room, throw your clothes through the door. You'll find the wash basin. You can wash that cut on your face.
That's very kind of you. There's only one thing.
Yes?
I'm flat broke. I couldn't pay you for them now. Maybe in a day or so.
All right, a day or so, a week or so. Go on, make yourself at home. And while you're washing up, I'll mend the pants. I'll get them in first-class shape.
So I went into the tailor's little back room and took off my suit. Then I went over to the washstand and started to wash. My head felt better as soon as I got a little cool water on it. I sat down. I tried to figure what would I do. Where would I go from here? Then I noticed something about my pants belt. It was bulky, had a little zipper in back. When I opened it, money started falling out in tight rolls. Bills were crisp and new. I thought my heart was beating loud enough for the tailor to hear it as I counted the money. There was $50,000.
Hey, mister, how you coming with the clothes?
Huh? Oh, yeah, they're ready. I'll hand them to you through the door.
Good. I'll have them fixed up like new in no time. You sit there and relax. You look like you could stand it.
Yeah, relax. Relax with $50,000 strapped around my stomach. Well, the little tailor fixed my clothes, and I looked fairly respectable again.
You know, I never seen such nice material in a long time as that suit.
That so?
Yes, it cost a beautiful dollar, believe me. Where did you get it?
Where did... Wasn't there a label on it?
No, the label had been ripped off. So why am I asking so many questions? Goodbye and good luck.
What do I owe you?
So when you earn a few dollars, come back and we'll figure it out, eh?
Well, let's do it.
What, $20? But before you said you were broke. This I don't understand.
That makes two of us, my friend. You can imagine how I felt, can't you, Mr. Commissioner? I didn't know what to do, where to turn. I thought of going to the police, but something in my subconscious mind warned me against it. When I looked fairly respectable again, I went out on the street and began walking. I didn't know where I was going or why. $50,000. I tried with every ounce of strength to crash through the wall that separated me from my past. Oh, it was no use. I must have walked for miles. Because suddenly it was dark. I was on a dismal little side street lined with hock shops, hamburger joints, and honky-tonks. And then some punk kid brushed against me.
Hey, mister.
What?
You better fade fast.
What?
You're being tailed.
What do you mean?
A guy's been following you for the last hour.
Following me?
Relax. Don't get so jumpy. Boy, you must really be hot. Now, look into this window. You can see his reflection. The tall, skinny guy in the white suit.
I see him. How do you know he's been following me?
'Cause I've been walking a little behind you ever since you turned down 14th Street. And I can tell when a guy's being tailed.
Why are you telling me then?
'Cause maybe you'll be a big-hearted guy and slip me a bill for it. And 'cause maybe I don't like cops.
Cops?
Sure, he's a cop. I can tell him a mile away. Yeah, you must really be hot, mister.
It's easy to say now that I know what I should have done, Mr. Commissioner. I should have gone up to this guy and had a showdown right then and there. But panic is a funny thing. It begins almost before you know it, and there's no cure for it. No cure at all. I began hurrying as fast as I could. And I didn't stop until my wind gave out and my legs weighed a ton. And I looked back. I'd lost my friend in the white suit. For how long? I had to find a place to sleep that night. I saw this little hotel on a side street. Straightened my tie, wiped the sweat off my face, started through the lobby. There was no one at the desk. I rang the desk bell. Little fellow with glasses came out.
Yeah?
I'd like a room.
Rates are $1.50 in advance.
That's all right.
No luggage, huh?
No, just staying overnight.
Yeah, that's all right. Very few of them bring any luggage. What's your name?
Huh?
Just what's your name for the hotel registers, huh?
My name is Bronson. Howard Bronson.
Howard Bronson. I thought for a minute you were going to say you were one of the Smith boys. Here's the key, Mr. Bronson.
Okay.
Now for the $1.50.
Yeah, here.
$20? Is that the smallest you have?
That's all I have.
All right. I suppose I can change it. You sure it's good? Didn't make it yourself now, did you?
It's good.
Oh, no offense. Just my own little joke.
Okay. I'll take another nickel out for this newspaper.
Sure thing, sure thing. And here's your change. Now, why don't you go up to bed? You look very tired.
I tried to sleep, but it was no use. Why had that man in the white suit followed me? What had I done? Not knowing almost drove me out of my mind. Out of my mind. I was already out of my mind. And finally, I must have dozed off, because I was suddenly in the middle of a terrible nightmare. No, I won't give it up. I won't stay there. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Bailey! Bailey!
Mr. Bronson? Mr. Bronson?
What?
Are you all right, Mr. Bronson?
Yeah. Yes, I'm all right. Who is it?
The room clerk. Would you open the door for a minute?
Yeah. Come in.
Several of the guests heard you screaming. We wondered.
There's nothing, just a nightmare, I guess. I'm all right now.
I'm glad to hear that.
Is that all you wanted to know?
Not exactly.
Well?
A detective came in a while ago inquiring about somebody.
Detective?
Yeah, city detective. That is according to the badge you showed me.
What did he want?
No one named Bronson.
Then why are you bothering me for?
It wasn't Bronson he asked for, but his description of the man fitted you exactly.
How long ago was he here?
Oh, about 20 minutes ago. Your name is Bronson, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
You know it's technically against the law to register under a name.
My name's Bronson.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, that's all. You must have wanted somebody else. Says he's been checking up on all the hotels in this neighborhood. Says he might drop back later.
What did he look like?
Oh, tall fella, kind of slim, wearing a white summer suit.
White summer suit?
Yeah. You don't see many of those nowadays, do you?
No.
Yeah, you sure you're over your nightmare? Huh?
Yeah, I'm all right now.
Okay, then. Good night, Mr. Bronson.
Night. Oh, say.
Yeah?
That fellow does come back.
Detective?
Yeah, the detective. If he does come back, let me know. I just want both him and you to make sure I'm not the one he's looking for.
Okay, Mr. Bronson. Good night.
After that, I didn't want to sleep. I got very jittery. Paced the room. Smoked one cigarette after another. Why had I said that to the clerk? I couldn't be so lily white with that 50 grand strapped to me. Still, maybe it would be better to have it out with the guy once and for all. Finally, I forced myself to sit down. Picked up the paper and started to read. The front page was filled with news of a war I couldn't even recall and names that meant nothing to the shadow that had engulfed my mind. But down in the corner of the front page, what was this? A detective slain on train. Detective slain on train. George Bailey, Chicago detective Bailey, the man in my nightmare, was found dead this morning in a roomette on a westbound train. Police officials report that he was on the trail of one Joe Latterly, who is believed to have killed a detective during an attempted arrest. Police throughout the state are on the lookout for Latterly now. He is known to be carrying $50,000 in stolen currency. $50,000 in stolen currency. Now, what was I going to do? I was not only a thief, I was a killer. But funny thing, somehow I didn't feel like a killer. I didn't feel like a killer at all.
Mr. Bronson? Say, that detective came back. He's here with me now. He'd like to talk to you.
Detective? Oh, yeah, sure. Be glad to talk to him. Wait just a second, though. I'll throw some clothes on. No, thank you. I wasn't having any of this. The only thing I could think about was to get away. I rushed to the window, raised it. A fire escape led right down to a back alley.
Open up, Mr. Benson.
I slid over the sill and started down the fire escape. As I raced down the steps, I heard excited voices above me. And then they were shooting at me. This was a new sensation, Mr. Commissioner, and not exactly the most pleasant feeling in the world. Well, that convinced me. I was a killer. A killer at bay. What could I do? Where could I go? It was almost midnight. There was not one person in the world that I could turn to. That I knew. I didn't even know my own name. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, yes. Yes, I did know my own name. Joe Latterly, the newspaper said. Joe Latterly. I saw an all-night drugstore down the block. I closed myself in the phone booth there. Started thumbing through the directory. Sure enough, there it was, Joe Latterly. I wrote down my address, began dialing my telephone number. And while the number rang, I felt a cold sweat come rolling down my face and neck, soak into my collar.
Hello.
Hello? This the Latterly residence?
Yeah. Yeah, what do you want?
This is Joe.
Joe.
Yeah.
It don't sound like you.
I had a little accident.
You get the money?
Yeah.
Any trouble?
I killed him. Look, I better see you right away.
Yeah, but don't come here. The cops are thick as flies. You better meet me at the usual place.
The usual place?
Yeah, at Mom's.
Okay, at Mom's. Oh, hey, look. This accident kind of mussed up my memory. What's Mom's address again?
229.
229...
9th Street, apartment 204.
204. Okay, I'll see you there.
Gee, you sure sound funny. Joe, what happened?
I'll tell you about it when I see you. So I had a wife, and she was in on everything. You see, Commissioner, the jigsaw puzzle was beginning to make some sense. A wife. I couldn't even remember the color of her hair. If only I could break through the shadow. 10 minutes later, I was standing in the entrance of a very classy apartment hotel lobby, not a soul in sight. As I began looking down the list of numbers for the right doorbell to ring, I felt myself going shaky again. There it was, 204. I pushed the bell and waited. Then the door buzzer sounded. I pushed open the door and started across the lobby. No one in sight. No one. That was a break. Pulled my hat down over my eyes as I started up the steps. See, I was beginning to think like a hunted man, like a killer. I took the stairs to the second floor. I started down the hall. 200. 202. The next door, 204. The door was ajar. I wanted to call my wife, but what was her name? Honey? Honey, are you there? No answer. I pushed the door open. The room was in darkness. I felt along the wall for a light switch. Found it. And there, waiting for me, was this detective. The tall, skinny guy in the white suit. I let my nerves take over. I jumped from the room, slammed the door shut, and started running again. But this time he had a better chance at me than before. As I hurried through the empty streets, I could hear him coming right behind me. I ducked down alleys and across backyards. He was right on my tail. I couldn't run much further. I was all pooped out. Then I bumped smack into somebody.
Hey! Watch where you're going.
I didn't see you, officer.
Well, I'm not exactly an officer. I'm a night watchman. But who are you running from?
Why, nobody. Nobody at all. I looked up and down the dark street. The detective was nowhere in sight.
Well, I don't know. You weren't exactly strolling along. Come over here to the street light. Let me take a look at you.
Well, you must know I got in a little jam with a lady.
So that's it. The way you run, I bet you're a hard man to catch.
Yeah.
Well, get on with you and be more careful next time. You may not always get a head start.
I guess that's right.
Good night to you.
Oh.
Yeah?
I live on the other side of town. What's the quickest way to get home?
There's an elevated train station 2 blocks from here. That's your best bet.
Okay.
You better hurry, though. The last train pulls in at 1 o'clock, and it's pretty close to that right now.
I'll hurry. Night. I began walking again. Once I got away from this neighborhood, I'd have a chance. Chance for what? I wasn't sure. But a man with $50,000 could do a lot of maneuvering. I saw the lights of the elevated station ahead. In the quiet night, I heard the rumble of the approaching train, the last train. I started jogging. I couldn't miss that train.
Hey, wait up, you!
Took a quick glance over my shoulder. It was him again. My friend in the white suit. I raced up the steps 3 at a time. When I got to the top, he was at the bottom.
Stop, or I'll kill you!
I'd never heard a deadlier sound than that voice. The last train was just pulling in. The detective was coming up the stairs, kind of slow. For some reason, I didn't have time to figure out. The train stopped. The doors swung open. I got in. The doors closed, and the train was on its way. I looked back. The detective was standing on the platform just looking at the train. I didn't get it. Why hadn't he come after me? I couldn't figure it. Then I decided I'd better get some information from the conductor. Say, can you help me?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to know?
Where's this train go?
63rd Street.
63rd Street, huh? Can I get the state highway from there?
No, you're going the opposite way.
That kind of mixed up my directions, huh?
Well, the only way to get where you're going is to take another car back to the loop.
Thanks. That was what I wanted to know. I decided to get off in a block or two in case the cop was waiting for me at 63rd. He must have figured he could beat me there. He'd probably have quite a little reception committee waiting. So I got up, started to walk to the door.
Hey.
Yeah?
Where you going?
Well, you said I was going the wrong way. I'm going to get off at the next stop.
You can't get off till 63rd Street. This is an express.
I was just about ready to crack. I knew it'd be curtains for me as soon as I got off the train. I kept hoping for a miracle. Maybe the train would crack up or stop one station too soon or... Oh, no. Oh, it was no use. Finally, the conductor called the station.
63rd Street, 63rd.
And the half-dozen sleepy passengers started getting up and heading for the doors. Then I got an idea. Maybe I could stay in the car. Maybe I could wait. When the last passenger got out, the conductor looked over at me.
This is where you transfer back to the loop.
Where's the train go?
Up a few blocks, and we turn around and head back.
Oh, couldn't I go back with you?
Sorry. You got to get out here and cross the bridge.
Oh, but I don't see any
I don't make the rules, buddy. The company makes them for me.
Well, I tell you, I'm just going
Hey!
What's the matter?
There's somebody behind you.
Just come with me. I got a gun right against your back.
It was him. I felt the gun rubbing against my spine. I knew I had only one chance. So I whipped around. I was lucky. I caught him with a hard right, and he went down. I jumped fast and got a service revolver. He didn't stay down long, though. As he got up and lunged at me, I let him have it. Right between the eyes. So there's my story, Mr. Police Commissioner. I'm Joe Latterly. I killed 2 cops. One today and one last week. Stole $50,000. I'm tired of the whole thing. I'm glad it's over.
It's quite a story, mister. I don't suppose you remember how or why Detective Bailey was killed last week on that train out of Chicago?
No.
Well, we've reconstructed the crime pretty well, we think. Began a week ago when a fellow named Steve Roycroft came to headquarters with a complaint against one of his employees whom he suspected of embezzling $50,000.
And that employee was?
Joe Latterly.
I see.
Latterly had disappeared, and Detective Murphy was assigned to the case. Later that day, he found Latterly taking the morning train out of Chicago. He called Roycroft and told him about it. Both Roycroft and Murphy made the train on Latterly's trail. They confronted him and got back the $50,000.
Who got the money back?
The man it rightfully belonged to, Steve Roycroft.
Well, where did I...
Just a minute. Roycroft got his money back, but Latterly made another try. He overpowered Murphy and killed him. He would have killed Roycroft, too, but Roycroft jumped for his life from the speeding train.
Wait a minute. You got it wrong. I jumped from the train, remember?
Exactly.
But you just said...
You're not Joe Latterly, my friend. You are Steve Roycroft. When you got your money and jumped from the train, you lost your memory. Then, when you read that we were looking for the killer, Latterly, you naturally assumed that you were him. Of course, we thought Latterly still had the money.
Heavens.
What's the matter now?
Well, don't you realize what I've done?
What?
Well, thinking I was Joe Latterly, I killed the detective who was trying to bring me in.
Detective?
Yes, just now, on the elevated platform.
Oh, but that wasn't a detective at all.
But then who...
He was Joe Latterly trying to get back his money. Or should I say, your money?
Joe Latterly.
That's right. And there won't be any charges. You killed him in self-defense. Yes, it was Joe Latterly all the time. That's why you met him in that apartment. It was his hideout. I know this has been a great shock to you, Mr. Roycroft.
Shock, yeah?
You're not well. You need rest. I've sent for an ambulance to take you to the hospital. Psychiatrist there will be able to help you recover the balance of your memory.
I hope so. I hope they can make me forget what I thought I was.
How do you mean?
I've lived the life of Joe Latterly too well. Done something to me. I'd begun to think like he must have thought. Like a hunted killer. It's not going to be easy to return to the commonplace, routine existence of this Steve Roycroft after what I've been through. I hope I won't become too bored, Mr. Commissioner.
Next week, at the same time over most of these stations, we'll bring you another original story about the land of the shadows. The story of 2 killers and of retribution out of the forgotten past. Join us then to examine at first hand the strange impulses which urge human beings into their dark venture.
Eclipse was written by Larry Marcus and Robert Light and featured Charles Barrett as Steve Roycroft. Original music by Dean Fossler. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
Dark Venture, presented by Wild Root Cream Oil for the hair. Over the minds of mortal men come many shadows. Shadows of greed and hate, jealousy and fear. Darkness is the absence of light. So in the sudden shadows which fog the minds of men and women are to be found the strange impulses which urge them into the unknown. Dark Venture. Tonight's venture in the dark features William Tracy in The Expert, the story of a man who did everything right and then found it was wrong.
Dark Venture is brought to you by the Wild Root Company, makers of Wild Root Cream Oil for the hair. There are lots of reasons why Wild Root Cream Oil is again and again the choice of men who put good grooming first. And here's one that every man appreciates. It gives you the successful, well-groomed look that helps you get ahead on the job. Wild Root Cream Oil does that by keeping your hair handsomely in place, relieving dryness and removing loose ends. Wild Root Cream Oil is non-alcoholic and the only leading hair tonic that contains soothing lanolin. So get the big economy-sized bottle at your drug or toilet goods counter. And ask your barber for Wild Root Cream Oil, again and again the choice of men who put good grooming first. And now, tonight's Dark Venture, The Expert.
I don't get it. What happened? Hey, listen, you... Tell me. Tell me.
You'll be all right in a few minutes. Just relax.
I can't figure it. Where's Georgie? Where's
Now,
Ruthie?
just lie here. I told you everything's all right.
Look, I don't know.
Will I be able to talk to him, Doc? I think so. The hypo's already starting to work. His pulse is slowing down a little.
You sent for Ruthie, didn't you? Hey, you sent for my wife, Ruthie.
Now, don't worry about a thing. Just close your eyes and lie quiet.
Yeah, close my eyes. Yeah, that's the thing. Close my eyes.
He's really been through something, hasn't he?
You don't know the half of it, Doc. I'm still trying to figure it out. Hey, he's not going to sleep on us, is he?
No, the hypo won't put him to sleep, not for a while, anyhow. He's just kind of unwinding. How you feeling now, fella?
Tired. Leave me alone.
Dave, I'm Inspector Barron. Before you doze off, I'd like to talk to you.
Yeah?
How about telling me what happened, Dave?
I don't know. I don't know.
Tell me what you do know. Maybe I can fit in the rest. How about it?
She shouldn't have kept needling me. Ruthie, I mean, she hated George almost from the beginning. And she kept needling me about him. She shouldn't have, though. George and me was foster brothers. He was older than me, but in the business we were partners, 50-50.
Fine partners. You do all the dirty work. He just sits and plays solitaire. Yeah, wonderful partner.
Ruthie just didn't understand. I was never one of these heavy thinkers. I was a guy who liked to fiddle around with tools, you know? So sure, I did all the installation and repair work on the machines, but I got a kick out of it. And George did his part, too. Any night of the week from, say, 8 o'clock until 2 in the morning, George was in the office working on the books or taking calls. He didn't believe in hiring outside help.
In this business, you do everything yourself. That's the only way to do it if you want to be safe.
We had a good thing, too, George and me. We had every nightclub and cigar store on the north side sewed up with our pinball machines and our one-armed bandits. Yeah, we were doing all right. That's why I didn't pay no attention to Ruthie. Besides, we had other things to worry about, and we were having trouble with Joe Burke and his boys. Burke had tried to buy us out for peanuts, and when we turned him down flat, he told us to look out for trouble. That was on a Tuesday. That Wednesday night, I took off to take Ruthie dancing. I was in the bathroom shaving when the phone rang. Ruthie answered it.
It's for you, your partner. Maybe he wants you to come down and hold his hand.
No, Ruthie. Yeah, what is it, George?
I just got a call from Harry at the Conga Club. 2 of our slot machines went on the bum.
They'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Now, listen to me, Dave. Burke's been trying to talk the Conga Club into throwing our machines in the alley. If you don't go out there and give them service, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but I
How long
promised.
will it take you? A couple hours? Now, if I could fix them, I'd go myself, but I can't. Explain it to Ruthie. She'll understand.
But listen.
I told him you'd be there in half an hour.
All right.
Well?
Look, honey, I'm sorry.
You gotta go out on a job.
I'll be back by 10. That's still plenty
For
of
2 cents, I wouldn't be here when you got back.
Hey,
I mean it. I'm sick of him ruining things.
look, I don't care what you say about George. But don't you ever tell me you're running out.
Well, that's how I feel.
Don't tell me that's how you feel. You know what you mean to me. You know what I'd do to hold you.
Now, Davy.
You got me under your thumb good. You're my special brand of poison. You can twist me until I'm blue in the face, and you can tell me to stand on my head, and I'll do it because, baby, you're in my blood. And you're there to stay.
All right, Davy, don't get sore. You're usually so calm and easy going. I hardly know you when you act like that.
Well, I don't blame you. I hardly know myself. I'll see you in a couple of hours, Ruthie. But as things turned out, I saw her a lot sooner. The Conga Club is out in the sticks. I'm on the highway about 2 miles from the place when a Buick sedan starts crowding me off the road. I pull over to the side. The Buick stops and a couple of guys come over.
Out of the car.
Look.
Come on, out of the car.
Take your hands off me.
Oh, you're too cute.
Take it easy.
Use your head, Dave. Would we chase you for a half hour just to take it easy?
Hey, who are you?
We're a couple of reformers.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't like slot machines. Not unless they're Joe. Wait!
After a while, I guess they got tired of batting me around. They left me sitting on the ground looking like something in a butcher shop display window, and then they went to the truck and took my tools. Without my tools, I couldn't fix the slot machine, so I started back for the apartment. I was sure feeling lousy when I let myself in. Ruthie! Hey, Ruthie, what's wrong?
Well, nothing's wrong.
Who went out of here?
Oh, now, Dave.
I heard somebody go through this back door.
You're crazy, Dave.
I'm not crazy.
Dave, listen, Dave!
Whoever it is, he can't get through the alley. He's got to go around to the front. I'll see him when he comes out in front.
All right, I'll tell you. It's about time you got wise. He's going out to the street now. You'll see who it is when he passes under the street lamp. Now do you see, Dave?
George!
Why do you think I hated his guts? Why do you think I kept trying to get you to get rid of him? He wouldn't leave me alone every time you turned your back. He was making love to me.
Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me?
I had to sometime, honey, but I was afraid. I knew how sore you'd get. I was afraid for you, honey, honest. That's why I didn't say it, honest. What are you trying to do? Dave, what are you looking for? Dave, don't be crazy, but I got away.
Where did he say he was going?
Please, honey. Darling, listen, please.
Where did he say he was going?
Dave, you're not leaving this house, not till you listen to what I gotta say.
You can talk your head off. I'm going to kill him.
Sure, you're gonna kill him. And I'm gonna help you. What isn't the way? 10 minutes after you shot him, you'd be sitting in a cell.
I don't care.
What about me? I couldn't lose you, Dave.
I used to boil you out for talking against him.
That's over with. I know a way to kill him. Nobody could ever blame you.
Huh?
Oh, if you only knew how many nights I've just laid awake thinking about it. If you knew how many nights I cried over you while you slept, wondering what to do. If you only knew how I begged him to let me alone. If you only knew how long I've wanted him to die.
Poor kid.
But that's all over with. What night of the week is George sure to be in the office?
Almost every night.
Yeah, but what night must he be there?
Oh, he goes over the books on Friday. Yeah, it's got to be there on Friday.
Well, that gives us 3 days.
3 days for what?
Something I read in the paper about Joe Burke made me think of it. You know, 5 years ago in Kansas City, he almost went to prison.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was trying to organize some small business minute or something he called a protective league, I think. But something went wrong. There was a bombing. 2 people got killed. Everybody said it was Burke. But they couldn't prove it.
I still don't see how this
Don't you
figures.
see, Dave? The whole town knows Burke's trying to drive you out of business. There's another bomb.
Oh, he wouldn't try anything like that.
Wouldn't he?
Woo!
Why, you're a magician with your hands. You could build a bomb between now and Friday without even working up a sweat.
Like that soap.
A time bomb that would go off right when you want it to go off.
But what if the cops don't figure it's Burke, Lieutenant? Maybe they'll figure it's me.
Oh, no, they won't, darling. They couldn't possibly. Because you're going to be in the office with George when the bomb goes off.
What do you mean?
Only just a second before the explosion, you're going to step into the vault for something. Just by chance. One of them miraculous escapes. You wouldn't get hurt that way, would you?
Oh, no, but it's kind of a tough way to die. George, I mean.
You're feeling sorry for George? He wasn't feeling sorry for you when he was trying to bust us up.
Okay. Right.
Friday, darling. We'll plan it together every step of the way.
Huh?
George, it's me, Dave.
Yeah?
Did I hear you right tonight? I got to thinking about it when I got home.
What are you talking about?
Did you tell me you weren't working this Friday night?
Oh, why would I tell you that? You know I gotta work on the books.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't figure.
Oh, I'll be working till at least midnight as usual. You gonna be here to work on the machines?
Yeah, sure. Sorry to have bothered you, George. Guess I better have my ears washed, huh? Good night.
Is it all right?
Yep. You'll be working. Now I can finish this thing. Well, this is it, honey. I'm going to set the detonator. You get on the phone and dial UL 1111.
Huh?
For the exact time, we got to know right to the second.
Oh, okay. UL 1111.
That's right. Kind of gives you the creeps, don't it?
Don't give me the creeps. It's like a dream coming true. Here's the time now. 10, 36, and 1/2.
Keep calling her while I set this thing.
10, 36, and three quarters.
Yeah?
10:37.
Okay, hang up. All right. There she goes. She's ticking, baby. And she won't stop ticking until tomorrow at midnight.
We'll return to our story as soon as Harry Wallstrom has a word with the men.
Recently, a leading independent research organization set out to find what men from coast to coast really want when it comes to the handsome grooming that helps bring success socially and on the job. Not just men in one city or town, but over 7,500 men in 31 cities all over America were asked this question. What advantages do you consider most important in a hair tonic? The results show why one hair tonic, Wild Root Cream Oil, is again and again the choice of men who put good grooming first. Because Wild Root Cream Oil offers all three advantages that hair tonic users voted most important. One, Wild Root Cream Oil grooms your hair neatly and naturally, never leaves it sticky or greasy. Two, Wild Root Cream Oil relieves annoying dryness. And three, it removes loose, ugly dandruff. Yes, Wild Root Cream Oil does all three. What's more, there's not a drop of alcohol in Wild Root Cream Oil. And it's the only leading hair tonic that contains soothing lanolin. So ask for Wild Root Cream Oil, preferred by 4 out of 5 users from coast to coast. Wild Root Cream Oil, again and again, the choice of men who put good grooming first.
Now back to our dark venture for tonight. The expert.
Hello?
Me, darling. George around?
No, he went out for coffee.
But he'll be back.
Yeah, sure. It's not even 10.
You sound nervous.
I'm all right.
He deserves it, darling. I never told you.
I know he deserves it.
Where'd you put it?
Well, I told you I was going to put it underneath a pile of junk in back of the office.
He couldn't possibly find it.
Oh, no.
And the vault's open?
Sure.
Okay, darling. Good luck.
Yeah. See you later. When I put the phone back on the hook, I saw my hands were shaking like crazy. I looked at the clock. 3 minutes to 10. It was right, too. I checked it with the phone. I couldn't sit still. I got up and started walking around. I went over to the pile of junk in back of the office. And there was the shoebox with the bomb inside. If that's Ruthie calling again, I'm going to tell her to stop bothering me. Hello? Hey. What is this? Nobody on the line. I had to control myself. I couldn't let George see how I was feeling inside. But who was that calling? And why did they hang up? I went to the vault. Just going inside made me feel better. We rented this office for the vault because of the dough we handled. And now was I glad we did. It was better than an air raid shelter. I'd slam the door shut and I'd be all right. I tried to turn on the vault light. It wouldn't work. I figured maybe the globe was on the blink. I left the vault to see if I could find another bulb. Hey, that was the church down the block. 10 o'clock, right on the head. I started looking around for a bulb for the vault light. I couldn't find any. I found a bottle of whiskey in George's desk. Oh. I poured myself a stiff shot.
Stealing my whiskey, huh? Oh, fine thing.
George, say the light went out in the vault. I was looking for another bulb.
Oh, it's not the bulb, it's the wiring. I can get along without a light. What were you doing in the vault? That's my department.
I was just looking around.
You go out for your coffee, Ann. I'll go back to work.
Yeah. Okay, George. I went down to the corner drugstore and ordered a sandwich, but the food stuck in my throat. All I could think about was the clock. It was 20 after 10 when I got back to the office. And the first thing I saw was that the vault was closed.
Back so soon?
Hey, why did you lock the vault?
Huh?
We don't lock the vault till we go home. How come you locked it tonight?
What's wrong with you?
Tell me why you locked it.
I didn't lock it.
Huh?
I went into it for a ledger, and on the way out, I just closed the door. It's not locked.
Hey, who's that at the door?
Hiya, gents. Why don't we drop in?
You're the guys on the road. Joe Burke's guys.
That's right, Dave. You heal fast, but you still look kind of peaked. Oh, yeah, and you got a nice telephone voice, Davy.
You're the one who called before?
We had to make sure you was in. Come on, George, you come with us.
Huh?
Joe Burke wants to see you.
Tell him I'm not interested.
You tell him. Come on.
Okay, take it easy.
Hey, Frank, what about Davy? I got a feeling the minute we're out of here, he'll start yelling for the cops.
Yeah, that's kind of restraint, Davy. That's kind of fasten him to this chair.
No.
It won't be for long. Judge will be coming back in 2-3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours. Hey, wait. Listen to me. You can't tie me up.
Always gotta do things the hard way, don't you,
Davy? For a minute, I didn't know where I was or what happened. Then it hit me like a bucket of ice water. I could see the clock on the wall. 16 minutes to 12. I was tied to a chair. My arms were twisted and back of me and tied with my belt. They'd stuffed the towel in my mouth, and I couldn't have been any more helpless if I was 8 hours old in the nursery. And I only had 16 minutes. I had to get free. I went crazy. I tried to snap the belt. The chair fell over, and I almost passed out again. Oh, if I could only reach the phone. I tried working the chair toward it. I couldn't budge. I felt the sweat breaking out all over me. I felt the veins in my head bulging. I felt my eyes popping. And the phone stopped ringing. From where I was on the floor, I couldn't see the clock anymore. What time was it? What time was it?
Oh, it's okay, Dave. It's okay. Here, let me take this gag out of your mouth and get you outside.
Oh, George. I was done for.
Here, take it easy, laddie. You're okay now.
Who's this cop? What does he want?
Oh, he just saved me from getting my block knocked off. Those two mugs drove me to the edge of town and started going to work on me when Officer Harris came by.
Now, I better call into headquarters and see what they want me to do. Can I use this phone over here?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Let's see. 10 minutes to 12. Yeah, no use sticking around here any longer, Dave. I'd have to. What's happened?
You ain't leaving.
Yeah, just as soon as I finish one more report.
How long do you think that'll take?
Oh, 20 minutes or so.
20 minutes. Okay, I'll wait till you finish. I've got to put my tools away anyhow.
Well, they told me to stick around here.
Huh?
Yeah, they're sending Inspector Brown over to talk to you, George. So I guess I'll just flop down and take a load off my feet.
Yeah, do that. I'm going to try and finish off this report before the inspector gets here.
You don't have to hurry. I know those guys at headquarters. They won't be here for half an hour yet.
I tried to act like I was putting my tools in order, but inside I was boiling. 8 minutes to 12, 8 minutes. But the cop didn't clear out. He was going to die with George. I didn't have nothing against the cop. I didn't want him to die. Besides, when a cop got killed like that, they'd really put on an investigation.
Hey, I've been watching you, Shorty.
Why?
Maybe that slugging you took didn't do you much good. You look kind of bad.
I'm all right.
You look like you're ready to flop over.
Listen, I got to tell you something.
Oh, I'll get it. Maybe it's for me. Hello? Speaking. Huh? Where? Okay. Yeah, see you. Yeah, that was for me. Something happened on the south side, a big holdup. The inspector had to go out there. George, they want you to come down to the station first thing tomorrow and tell them more about this. We know you guys are okay, but that Burke outfit isn't. We've been trying for a long time to get something on them.
Oh, all right, I'll be down.
Well, got to be running along now. Oh, Shorty, you wanted to tell me something. What was it?
Nothing important.
Oh, but you said...
It couldn't have been important. It skipped my mind.
You sure don't look good.
I'm fine.
Well, see you both around.
Yeah, and thanks for saving my neck.
3 minutes to 12, and I couldn't take my eyes off the clock. George was bent over his desk working on his report without even the slightest idea of what was under that trash pile in the corner, ticking away. Thought I'd better get the vault door open now. I had to do it easy without arousing George's suspicion. I kind of eased over to it. Just about 2 minutes left. I slid my fingers over the handle to swing the door open. But it didn't budge. The vault was locked. George!
Huh? What's wrong now?
You told me you didn't lock this vault.
I didn't.
It's locked, George.
In all the excitement, somebody must have spun the dial.
Get it open, George.
All right. What are you going to do in there?
You said the wiring's on the bum. Well, I'm waiting for you to finish that report. I'll try to fix it.
I don't know. You're sure acting crazy tonight. Maybe you better stay home tomorrow. Take a rest.
Yeah, I will. You got it open.
It's open. Maybe you've been working too hard. You worry me, kid.
He started back to his desk. Just about 70 seconds left. I was out of trouble now. Just watch the clock. The big second hand was starting its last sweep. 60 seconds. But then I found myself looking more at George than at the clock. I found myself starting to feel sorry for the guy. Hey, cut that out! 50 seconds. I tried to remember everything Ruthie had told me about him. He double-crossed me behind my back. Yeah, but killing a guy. Killing George. 40 seconds. I wasn't kidding myself now about anything. There wasn't time. That meant Ruth, too. He wasn't no Lily. I'd always known that, even if I didn't admit it. 30 seconds. How did I know for sure it was George's fault? All of a sudden, I didn't hate George anymore. I hated myself. I was nothing but a weak, dumb jellyfish. Less than 25 seconds left. George shouldn't die. If anybody ought to die, it should be me. Yeah! 20 seconds. George!
What's wrong? Get hands off.
In the vault, George. Quick!
What are you doing? Let go of me.
There's no time to argue, George. Come on! Get in there! Lieutenant slammed the vault shut and spun the dial, locking it. After the explosion, they'd find George and let him out, and he'd be okay. 12 o'clock. I ran to the scrap pile any second. I started kicking everything aside. Maybe I had time to throw it through the window. But where was the bomb? The bomb was gone! I don't know.
It's all right, boy. It's okay. You'd better let him alone now, Lieutenant.
That's all I had to know. I couldn't take much more. I'll be going.
No, wait.
Huh?
You said you'd tell me what happened. That's what you said.
Later. You go to sleep.
No, you tell me. You promised.
Doc?
Tell him. He's got to know sometime.
Okay. I'll give it to you all in one dose, Dave. We're playing you for a sucker.
Playing me?
Yeah. Ruthie and George. They were nuts for each other. They're afraid of what you might do if you caught on. So they figured out this whole thing together. Every move you made, you told Ruthie. And Ruthie told George.
Oh, no. You're lying.
You're a lying copper.
Yeah. George knew where the bomb was. He knew it'd go off at midnight. He knew you'd step into the vault just before it went off. So while you were out eating tonight, he took the bomb and put it in the vault. Yeah. The only thing they didn't figure out was that you really aren't a bad little guy, Dave. They didn't figure on your heart. Now go to sleep. Pleasant dreams.
Dark Venture is written by Larry Marcus and directed by Leonard Reed.
Next week at the same time, the Wild Root Company, makers of Wild Root Cream Oil for the hair, will bring you another original Dark Venture story. And now, a word to the men. If you want the girls to make you their choice, better make Wild Root Cream Oil your choice. Wild Root Cream Oil is again and again the choice of men who put good grooming first. Smart fellas know it grooms their hair the way girls like to see it, and relieves dryness and removes loose dandruff, too. There's not a drop of alcohol in Wild Root Cream Oil. What's more, it contains soothing lanolin that's so much like the oil of your own skin. Remember, no other leading hair tonic gives you all of these advantages. And since it's your own appearance that's at stake, why be satisfied with anything less? Tonight, take Wild Root's close-up test. If a close-up look in the mirror reveals unruly hair, dryness, or loose dandruff, you need Wild Root Cream Oil, again and again the choice of men who put good grooming first.
In tonight's Dark Venture, William Tracy was heard as Dave, Betty Lou Gerson as Ruth, Jack Moyles as George, Charlie Seal as the inspector, Eddie Fields as Frank, and Stanley Farrar as the officer. Original music by Dean Fossler. Your narrator has been John Lake.
Until next Tuesday, remember, smart girls use Wild Root Cream Oil, too, for quick, good grooming and to relieve dryness between permanents. Mothers say it's great for training children's hair.
Presented by
William Tracy
Wild
can
Root
soon be
Cream
seen in the
Oil
Hal
for
Roach
the hair.
production. Here Comes Trouble. This is ABC, the American